Hello guys, what is up? It's Spooky Noodles, and I have to be kind of quiet, but I got a new book, so we're gonna throw this in a book video, book mail video, and I don't know if this is gonna be the first video or the last video, but this is a reading. This is not a reading vlog. Sorry, I'm tripping already. This is a book mail, and the book I got here is by Chet Williamson. It's my first, I think, Chet Williamson book I own. And this is called Lowland Rider. And I think this is more of a psychological type of story. So I'm looking really forward to reading it. I already have the audiobook, but I heard this is a rare book to find, and I found it for like $5 on Etsy, so went ahead and got it. It's not in the best condition, but it could be worse. I mean, look at the spine. It looks pretty good, except for the top. There's like sticker residue, but other than that, the spine isn't broken. So let me read the back for you guys so you get an understanding what this book is about, and then maybe you'll be interested in getting it. I don't know. I got Lula by my side with Einstein, and Miko's in front of me with a bone, so if you hear a bone being chewed, that's why. But here we go. Here's the synopsis. Jesse Gordon lives in New York City, on the trains and in the tunnels of the subway system. Jesse, a young businessman, has been driven mad with despair after the brutal murder of his wife and child by common thugs. Hell-bent on revenge, Jesse disappears into the weird and awful darkness beneath the city's streets, forever abandoning the light of day. The world below is stranger and darker than even Jesse's twisted mind can imagine. There is a pattern to the horrible, bestial crimes he sees committed. An eerie, inhuman figure dressed in white is the center of terrible evil. Jesse Gordon's quest for vengeance forces him into a confrontation with the ultimate source of horror older than time. So that is Lowland Rider by Chet Williamson. This book just sounds good. It says at the top, Death rode on his saddle and death rode by his side. And at the end it says, if thou'lt nay be life's messenger, then death's shalt not thou no be. I don't know what that means. I feel like I'm having a stroke reading that, but yeah, there's some blurbs on the back saying how great it is. No one I really know, just, a bunch of magazines. But yeah, this is Tor Horror, as you can see. Lowland Rider is available on audiobook, so that's what I have on my phone. I plan on listening to it fairly soon. As you can see, this is a pretty big book for me, at least. For you guys, it might be just normal size, but for me, it's a pretty big book. Comes in at 341 pages. At least I think it comes in at 341 pages. Yeah. So, yeah. Pretty cool looking book. I like the cover. I don't know if this is Jesse on the front cover or if this is the evil incarnate that lives in the tunnels. I'm not really sure. But I love a good revenge tale. I plan on reading Yellow by Beauregard, which is a huge, pulpy revenge tale that I'm looking very forward to reading. I love Beauregard's writing. He's like he does it right, And I'm saying this because I might rant a little bit here, but I'm listening to an audiobook, and it feels like it's gross just to be gross. It's not even like there's nothing like good really about the book I'm listening to at the moment. It's got no redeeming characters. It's just gross for the sake of being gross, and it's not even really gross to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see it's gross, but it's not like so gross it makes me, sick. So I just, I'm a little disappointed by the audiobook. It's called Goon by Edward Lee and John Peelin, I think. And Yeah, I'm just really underwhelmed by it. And the one death that had happened in the book happened so quickly. Like, it was abrupt. It was like a sentence long. They didn't describe anything. It just, I mean, there were like a few times where they talk about what happened to a girl that was murdered, but the only really real death happened like that. Everything else is like, it's almost like a comedy, a horror comedy, and it's not for me. I'm gonna finish it up and do a review. But why I bring it up is that it's considered extreme horror, and Edward Lee is like the king of extreme horror. And I have nothing against the man. I like the Stickmen by him, but I haven't really read a good book by him yet. I read the Stickmen, but that wasn't really horror. So, but give me 1 second, and then I'm gonna continue this video. But give me 1 second. Okay, where was I? Basically, why I bring up the Goon by Edward Lee and John Peelin, I think it is. It's either John Peelin or Josh Peelin. The reason why I bring it up is that I think it's extreme horror. What people hate about extreme horror, you know what I'm saying? Gross for gross sake. It's really demeaning. It's not. I don't care about the demeaning stuff, but I know some people might have a problem with that. It's just, I don't know. Even the gross scenes don't really gross me out that much. They just kind of annoy me more than anything. And it's just the author's just trying to be gross just to be gross, you know? There's nothing more to it than that, you know? And it's what I don't like about extreme horror. I love extreme horror, but that's a facet that I don't like, is when they're just trying to gross you out. They're not trying to even tell a good story, you know what I'm saying? They're just trying to gross you out, and it's not working for me. But Aaron Beauregard does it well, because not only can he gross you out, but he can tell a really good story alongside it. And I am always interested if the story is well written. That being said, Goon is not that well written. Again, I don't have anything against Edward Lee. He's probably a really good writer. I mean, I'm not reading his best stuff, so maybe that's what's the problem. This story just sounded interesting because it's about wrestlers and stuff, and it just sounded like an interesting story, but it's just failing for me. It's not doing it for me, and it's not one of his like more well-known books. I have Header. I have like this book called like Family Tradition, which he wrote with someone else, I think. I have this book that he wrote with Wrath James White. So I'm looking very forward to reading more Edward Lee. But the two books I've read so far, which was The Stickmen, which was actually really good. I liked that book. But it wasn't horror, you know? It wasn't extreme at all. It wasn't horror even. So, yeah. But that was a good story. This one, not a good story. Gross for the sake of being gross, and it's not even making that mark, hitting that mark. It's the gross scenes are not even grossing me out. There's not any murder, deaths, anything horrifying, nothing in this book. It's actually kind of frustrating how much I'm not liking this book. And I don't need redeeming characters in order for a book to be readable, because I mean, like I always bring this up. Billy Silver it didn't have a character that you liked in it, you know? Billy Silver was like an anti-hero, and not really even hero. He's not a hero at all. He's just I just wanted to see what happened to him in the story, you know? And you don't need redeemable characters in order to write a good story, but these characters are past redeemable. They're like just awful. Like they're just annoying, and they're trying to paint a picture where you're supposed to kind of like them. You know when the author's trying to write a good character that you will like, and it's missing the bar for me there too. If I were actually to like measure it in stars so far, I mean, it could have a great ass ending and it could totally change my mind about the whole book. But so far, Goon is definitely getting 2 stars. The writing isn't bad, but at the same time, it's just the character work, the plot, the horror there's no horror. The gross out scenes, it's probably going to be a 2-star for me. We'll see it when it comes to the end. I'll do a review. I know this is kind of already a review, but why I bring it up? Why even bring up Edward Lee? So like I said, Aaron Beauregard just does extreme horror very well. Daniel J. Volpe does extreme horror very well. These are upcoming extreme horror writers. I haven't read Simon Mccarty yet. Well, I've read one story. Ooh. Sorry, Miko coughed up. I haven't read Simon McCarty's like novelizations yet, or not novelizations. Oh my gosh, it's been a long day. I haven't read his books yet, but I did read a short story by Simon McCarty. It's going to be in my new anthology that I'm releasing, and that was fantastic. It was bloody good. Very, very good. I really enjoyed it. And I'm going to throw him in the list of upcoming extreme horror authors. The future looks bright for extreme horror. I just, I say this, and I have a book called Mother Maggot, which is basically just one big gross out book apparently, but it might, I don't know, I haven't read it yet, so I can't really talk about it, but apparently it has a really good story though. Not only is it a gross out book like Goon, but it has a really well written story. So I'm looking very forward to reading Simon McCarty's writing, more of Simon McCarty's writings. But these 3 guys are staples in the extreme horror right now. You also have John Athen, and I'm not reading one of his more extreme horror books, but the dude can write. A really good writer. I'm currently reading, I haven't read anything today, but The Taste of Blood by John Athen. Very, very good book. Not extreme, really. There are some gross scenes in this book, but I would not consider this an extreme horror novel yet. I am on chapter 13, and there are, let's see here, there's 20 chapters, and I'm on chapter 13, and it has 177 pages. I am on page 100, so I'm almost done with the book. I got 70 something pages left. I'm not going to do the math. I'm on page 101. There's 177 pages, so like I have 76 pages, I guess. I'm looking really forward to reading it. Even that number's probably wrong because there's some blank pages. When it goes to a new chapter, there's a blank page. So, that number's probably misconstrued too. So, whatever. What I'm trying to say is I'll throw John Athen in the mix with extreme horror. He's really good too. His writing's great. He can weave an excellent story. So, yeah. But this is what these are the things that I think people really hate about extreme horror, is what they see in Goon. So, yeah, I'm going to stop with my tangent now. This was a book mail video, and now it's a little long, so I'm going to probably post this by itself. But Lowland Rider by Chet Williamson. Going to listen to the audiobook soon or read the book. But it's not on the TBR yet because I have a few books on the TBR. If you saw my TBR last night, I'm thinking about redoing it because it's really long and I did it at night. So yeah, I'm thinking about redoing that video and just doing it much shorter. Just saying what I'm reading and that's it, getting out, But yeah, tell me guys what you guys are reading. You monsters out there, what monster books are you reading? Or creature features, or that's the same thing. Paranormal, psychological, coming of age. Like, what are you guys reading? I want to know. I'm really interested. And yeah, I'm really enjoying what I'm reading right now. Like, it's probably going to be a top 5 book for me. I looked at my top 5 coming of age list, or my top list, my list for my favorite coming of age list. I can't talk today. My list for my favorite coming of age stories. And yeah, it's climbing the list. It's definitely gonna beat number 5, I think. Which is, I think number 5 is either Matt Hayward's Those Under the Treehouse, or it's Within the Woods by Tony Urban. One of those two are at number 5, and I think The Taste of Blood is gonna beat it. I'm really enjoying it. And yeah, but that's it. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you have a spooky night, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out, guys.